Man, that like Game of Thrones style intro gets me hyped every time. I love it. Great job, Liam. Miss you, bro. Get back from vacation because uh, we're getting lazy out here a little bit. We're having too much fun. We're having way too much fun with this. Thankfully, as always, the community steps up and we have amazing people that just jump right in chats, jump right on here live. As you guys can tell, we've got Francisco Space. He's our host for the evening, and our good buddy, we love to call him Jacob, but that is Jacob Keating. How you guys doing? How you guys getting along?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Not bad, not bad. Just chill Sunday.
Yeah, chill Sunday for sure. I sent you the link, Jacob and Chris, like the YouTube link on X. You guys
I
wanna
saw it
share?
in the chat, so I pushed it
Yeah,
there. I guess I could push it the actual X.
So, Jacob, you're about to jump on a nice little vacation, little road trip,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Um, when you leave out, and are we going to be able to still communicate with you while you're on the road, or are you just going to go
Oh
MIA?
yeah.
What's the plan?
No. I got Starlink terminal. I got yeah, so
Sounds
I'll be
good.
hooked up all the time, dude. I got my Jackery solar panel, but Jackery battery system with solar panels and my electric cooler and my rooftop tent. Everything's all set up. I'm ready to go. I mean, I'll probably be spending more time than not, like outdoors, like national park kind of stuff. But like every week of the trip, like once a week, I'm probably gonna go stay at a hotel to get like nice and cleaned up or something like that. I have no desire to like van life it, or I guess truck life it for like 6 to 10 weeks, or whatever I'm gonna do it. I have no end date, just a semi start date.
Hey, man, no reason for the van life. I told you my hammock is wide open. It's right
Hell yeah!
there. It's,
I
right
also
now it's on the ground
have.
because it's windy, but yeah, it's right there. No, dude, honestly, bro, just kidding. I do. As long as my daughter's on here, I've got two extra bedrooms. If you make it out east, please come and visit. We'll go to Wallops. We'll have some fun. I know you're coming out for the party anyway, but yeah, what's an extra visit? We'll have a lot of fun. But
Yeah,
yeah, dude, thanks so much for joining in tonight. We're gonna have a blast. We're gonna have
yeah.
a
I mean,
blast.
I'll definitely drive. I mean, I'll definitely stop by because I'll be driving through there one way or the other, either up or down. So I'll definitely swing in. I mean, my brother's like less than 2 hours from you, or an hour from you, or something like that. So I'll probably stay the night there, but I'll swing by for sure.
Are you gonna make the SpaceX Cape Canaveral launch with Francisco and possibly Olga and a few other people? Are you gonna make that one?
Which one? I will hopefully be down there for one of them. I'm not sure which launch specifically everybody's referring
I
to.
think Brett is just put it on the comments. He's saying maybe Frank can meet us for the SpaceX ASTS launch.
Yeah,
I'll try it. I'll be in DR for the first week of August again, but then I'll try it. After that, I'm open. So
it would need
that's
for
not the
me
date
at
for that.
least. Yeah, no, we don't yet. I don't think, unless they just told us, but I don't think we know yet. Maybe Brett does, but I think the earliest would be closer to the end of August, but I don't. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, I can definitely make that. Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Which is what I'm kind of expecting, because that's the only way I'm going to get down all the way down over there. Otherwise, I'll have to like double back or something. I don't know. I have no real plan of action outside of like the first week in Oregon, and after that, I'm like just gonna look up someplace and pack up and go there the next day.
No, that's fun though.
Yeah,
That's a blast, dude. That's awesome. Um, Man, you gotta like update the chats, like
Oh yeah,
chats.
yeah.
I'm talking. Send pictures, road trip stuff, man. That'll be it. We'll catalog all that stuff, man. You'll have a blast. And of
Yeah.
course, if I'm going live like this, where I just show the river, then when you're traveling, then we should have you live, and you can just just show live shots
Dude,
of desert or mountains
yeah.
or wherever you're at, man. That'd be a lot of fun, dude. It'd be a lot of fun.
I'm down. Like, I mean, other than my comfy chair I'm in right now, I feel like I'm gonna bring my laptop and stuff like that too. So, I mean, if I'm camped somewhere for a few days, like, I still plan on being online and just taking it on the road, basically. I want a different scenery than this wall behind me.
All right. Well, hopefully in the future, instead of like a Starlink, you can have like a satellite terminal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, dude, honestly, there's just nothing on the market right now that beats that.
No,
And even
yeah.
when AST gets out there, it's not going to have the bandwidth as a dish like that. So,
Yeah.
like, if you have it like on the road like that, I don't know. I of course I wish I would love more options out there, and if Rocket Lab gets something like that out there going, then I'm going to support it. But for right now, they got it dialed down.
All right,
Yeah, for now.
What we got now?
Yeah, definitely for now. But man, that's why we had you on. Because we do want to talk Flatellite tonight.
Oh yeah,
And-
sorry, not all about my road trip.
No, we definitely want to know more about that because you have some great video. I can't wait. That's gonna be a lot of fun. But Bo, you're like my favorite bear, not in a negative way, but you know me. I come up with these crazy ideas, and you're like, no, Chris, slow down, shut up. You're retarded. You're not seeing the bigger picture. And so it was perfect that you came on tonight because I did want to deep dive a bit more into Flatellite. And I know we don't have a lot of information that's been released by Rocket Lab, a lot of speculation going on. But now that we have the money being allocated to the Golden Dome project, not only that, Space Force, you add in the fact that they just had a 4-star general show up and hang out with Sir Peter Beck. I'm sorry, and those things don't happen by accident. So I did want to get more into Flatellite because it's one of those things again that seems kind of like maybe iffy, small, but we all know Peter Beck doesn't do anything on accident. The guy's playing chess, right? He's playing chess. He's always thinking 5-10 years out. And they've had interviews on this, and they've spoken about this. And this whole Flatellite thing came about because of the fact that they had a demand for it, not because Beck or Spice or anybody else was like, "Hey, let's just build some satellites." No, there was an outside demand for it. And Beck's words himself was designed for mass production. It's easy to overlook. Beck goes live. He says a lot of things and doesn't say a lot. But if you read in between the lines, sometimes you can just kind of see what the man's thinking about. So yeah, I do want to get more into Flatellite. That's why we're going live tonight. That's why we have Jacob on tonight. Thanks again for coming on. But initial thoughts, guys.
Are we not here for the Haste? I thought we was here for the Haste Lounge, bro.
Yeah, the one that hasn't happened yet. The one that's being delayed. Yeah. No, we still have Wallace Vantage. Dude, Wallace Vantage is still out there, and if we do get a Haste launch, he's going to go live, and we'll give you guys a live feed from Wallace, which is.
Let me tell you, I just logged into the TFRs and it's still open for today. That it's still showing up on the FAA website. The other ones they were canceling them right away. Like they were disappearing. Like the TFRs, the FAA website still showing a TFR for tonight.
Maybe they're pissed that we're all taking pictures of it. Yeah. They're just trying to mess everybody up.
So I don't know. I mean, we still have a window, right? It starts at what, 7:45 to 1 a.m. I don't know. So once you see that TFR there, I think that's a shot. How's the weather out there, Chris?
Well, right now it's overcast, but it's not just the weather here on the shore. I'm right on the shore. Exactly. So it's winds are not bad. Dude, this is like perfect launch weather where I'm sitting at, but I don't know what it's like offshore 30, 50 miles down range. And when they're deploying, that's kind of crucial. But actually, and this is why I wanted Jacob on, because we actually had Jacob on a few weeks ago, and we had this discussion about Haste, and I asked him just honest, opinion about his perception of what the future of Haste was going to be, and he was like, it's more of a test program for the Neutron. And you guys know me, I'm a big Haste guy, but there's a lot of weight in what he said because let's say that he's 100% right, and honestly, kind of hope he does now that I'm thinking about it. But let's say he's 100% right. So now we're seeing an issue with just offshore weather that causes a delay in launch. We're looking for rapid reusability. If the U.S. government says, "Hey, we need this now," we can't say, "Hey, weather's kind of bad offshore." Now, small rocket like an Electron or a Haste, yeah, they're gonna have those kind of things to deal with. But a larger rocket like a Neutron, that's not going to be an issue, unless it's, of course, like hurricane force winds or whatever. So, yeah, I'll look more into what. Every time you guys come to me and you go, "Hey, Chris, I disagree," I look deep into it. And when Jacob came to that, came to me with that, I was like, you know what? He's probably freaking right. And it in a lot of ways made me better. Made me a lot smarter about it, and so it made me deep dive more into a few more rabbit holes. And we still have not even touched on the satellite yet, but um, that's a lot just to drop in one time. But again, thanks, Jacob. I was wrong. You were right. I love the possibilities moving forward.
I have no idea what I said last time, but the way you described it doesn't. I don't think I said it was a test program for Neutron. I think I mentioned that Electron had test pieces on it for Neutron, but I don't want to be I don't want to mischaracterize what my thoughts were on it. I have to go back and look exactly what I said, but I'm pretty. My thought around Haste, specifically the program, was that overall hypersonic testing, they need to do a lot of it in a short amount of time, but it might not be hypersonic testing might not be needed over the medium term, like in the next, let's say, under 5 years. A lot of it might be needed, but then I don't think that there's like a 10-year demand cycle. There might not. I don't know this. There might not be a longer term demand cycle for it. That's all I was getting at with Haste. So I feel like it's a really good thing to have in the next, let's call it 5 years or less. I just think that we might be on like the other side of the demand curve for all the hypersonic testing itself. And that's all. I think that's all I was saying. I think that's what my opinion is now, anyways.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
I brought up the TFR so you guys can see it. Like, still there. So the past 2 days, like as soon as like Wallace Banter says something about it, like he was right. They will take him down on the FAA website right away. Even early, like I don't know, 11 a.m. or 1, whatever it was, the first time they took them down right away. This one's still active, so I don't know. I guess we still have a chance. A small one, but we might have a chance. I don't see why they didn't take this one down. But
I don't know.
The other thing that Chris was saying with the cross wings, I think limits. Yeah, I'm sure that the more weight you have, the bigger the aircraft is. That the higher the winds can be for the limits. Because I fly. I'm a pilot, and for a little Cessna, our crosswind limits are like very low. And I'm sure like it's the same like as Electron and Neutron is gonna be the same. It's not the same for a Cessna. It's a Boeing 747. It's just sure it's gonna be the same. So I think the wind levels, the winds actually change like every like 3,000 feet. Just about. And they can go different directions, and they get very like higher too. Like,
yeah, I know.
So
I saw somebody else mentioning that it might not just be because Haste is not orbital, so it might not be the way up, but when it comes back down for, I guess, I don't know if that's not really true, but outside of parabolic, especially this one's looks like it has 2 longer hazard zones for like the U.S. Coast Guard ones. So they were mentioning that it might not be the weather on the way up at the launch site, but wherever it's coming back down on the other side of parabolic shape. So
probably, yeah.
That might be that. I don't know. I didn't look into it more further than that. But people were saying that the weather offshore, where I mean it's several hundred miles, I think, is where the distance was out there, It looks far. It's out past Bermuda. Let's put it that way. It's where the hazard zones are. So I would say we're saying that the weather out there might not be good because they're trying to test whatever they're trying to test. They they don't want to have it go into a bad weather environment.
Right.
No,
yeah, like I said, the winds are different at every level. Like so, yeah, it could be good at the ground level. It might be good at 10,000 feet, but like I don't know how high they're going. Like 18, this thing says, but it might be different at the altitude or at 10. Who knows? But hopefully that gets figured out. We can get a launch here soon.
Well, we get very crazy weather right off the shore. We really do. So we have the Blue Ridge Parkway, and so when like weather comes in from the west, it gets broken up, but it dissipates but changes. So you instead of just having one big storm, you have multiple different storms. And then we get these crazy storms that come down from the north, and usually they kind of float offshore. And what happens is you kind of get like almost like a cyclone effect in the upper atmosphere for whatever reason. I'm not a scientist. I don't know all the reasons why, but that's just what happens. Maybe it has something to do with the land structure. I don't know. So it's not just the launch pad itself and where they launch from, but it's where they're going to deploy from that has the issue, I think, with the weather. Now, of course, none of this is confirmed. It could be a, stupid, little problem with the pad or something. We really don't know. We really don't know. But one way or another, it's delayed. But what's really cool though is that next time we launch from Wallops, we're going to get live feed from my boy Wallops Vantage. So that's going to be really fun. We just get a live feed, Haze launch or Electron launch, whatever's next. Even though it's not live with Rocket Lab, we'll be able to do it live here.
Oh yeah.
The Wallops just said like 8 minutes ago horizontal, I guess, for Haze. So I guess it's 6:30 already. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get a launch. Well, this is gonna be like 1 in the morning. I don't know. That doesn't look like we're gonna get one.
No, it's not looking good. Not looking good.
I mean, if it's still horizontal and then it's we got 6:30. How long do they take to fill that thing up? It takes usually
7:45. 7:45 our time is scheduled launch time, but
that's the window opens at 7:45, but I think it goes all the way up to like 1 a.m.
yeah, exactly.
But I mean, still horizontal.
It's
So
possible.
I don't.
It's possible, man. Very possible.
Well, still got like 10%. It might happen. Maybe less than that.
Usually, even on like regular Electron launch days, they have that thing vertical,
right?
Many hours before the launch. So it's all right. It's gonna happen. I mean, if it's not this week, who knows? I mean, maybe there was a payload issue, or maybe there was a who knows.
Yeah,
I'd rather them launch it and have it go well than what I'm sure they're stopping for whatever reason. It's
100%.
It's fine. Yeah, I mean, I would maybe be a little bit more sad if it was right at the end of the quarter, but since it's the start of the quarter, I guess part of me's like, it's all right. I don't know. I guess I'm less stressed about it. Maybe that's just my short-term thinking on quarterly earnings.
Yeah, I don't think.
Well, you're also on vacation now, so I mean, you're laid back. You're on vacation. Yeah. No worries for you at all. No worries at all.
Why does everybody think like I think we got who we got on the shot? We got Brett and we got who's that Tate? Who's EM? Yeah. I think it's Tate.
Yeah.
Tatted, whatever. I don't even know. Why you guys call him Tate or Tatted?
I don't know.
Tatted. He wants to be called Tatted. I call him Taz. He don't like that too much. I'm sorry, bro.
I just say Tat a lot. I just usually abbreviate it as TATT. Just Tat.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. So same.
Well, they're like. Wonder what the community thinks. I think most of the people are going to say, "Yeah, we don't have a launch this weekend."
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, the other thing we were noticing when they posted another picture last night was that like they were working late into the night on the neutron side over there on the pad. You got to think that they're going to close that close that pad down when they they can't do work over there while the rocket's ready to launch. So I'm sure they tried to schedule parallel stuff either for night work or whatnot. So I'd rather them fix whatever the issue is and then get it up and launch if there's an issue and it's not weather related, versus them like having it up on the pad and having to stop work over at the neutron site. I mean,
Yeah,
they're right next to each other. There's no way that they let workers out there while the rocket's on the pad, kind of thing. I don't
definitely. And again, Mars is MARS. They're in control of all construction on that island out there. So it's government funded mostly, if not all government funded. So for them to be out there at night and working on whatever they're working on, whether it's the pad for Neutron or the pad or whatever problems they're having with the Haste launch, Virginia's not screwing around. They're not screwing. They're building a new bridge to get barges coming in. They're investing a lot of money in this company, and then we've got Firefly. And I know they're going to IPO soon. Not everybody's like excited about that, but personally, I mean, hell, Firefly just landed on the moon recently, thanks to Rocket Lab. Not going to deny that.
You're not buying their RPO? I'm selling on my
no. But I will tell you that I am currently working on getting the CEO of Firefly on this live stream very soon. Yes, wait, Ted. Yes, wait, Ted.
That's interesting.
Yep, we're gonna make that happen. They're gonna be at Wallops. I am a local. It's very cool to me. I like space. I'm gonna support anyone that's going to try and further the advantages for humanity in space and go further beyond that to Jupiter, Neptune, and all that kind of crazy stuff. That's why I love Beck. But I'm not a hater. Yeah, I make fun of Chris Kemp because Astro did fly sideways. But in the bottom of my heart, I want the guy to succeed. I want all space to succeed. That means we all succeed. We make more money that way, right? I mean, Rocket Lab is the leader. They're the Tesla of space, man. They are the Tesla of space. In one door comes in raw material, and out the other door comes satellites and launches and the whole 9 yards. And that's what they've been talking about for a long time. End-to-end space company. And we're seeing that now with Flatellite. Most of the components are going to be built in-house. That lowers costs. That reduces the issues of having stuff delivered on time. And again, with Neutron being reusable, we just make more money as we go along. There's a lot.
You brought up something earlier that I wanted to touch on. Like you were talking about how Beck has kind of forecasts a little bit. There's like almost something hidden in what he says. And I found two distinct examples. Well, one for sure example and one where I think it's going to pay off. So the one example I'm thinking of is, if you guys remember, he was the keynote speaker at the Small Sat conference in San Francisco earlier this year. I don't remember what time, but what it was. I don't have it listed here, but he was the keynote speaker. It was the 2025 annual Small Sat conference, and get on Space Ghost. I'm probably not reading it. Anyways, he was the keynote speaker there, and he mentioned stuff. He was talking about like the growth of the industry, and he specifically said lasers, like for interstate, like laser, like communication, and he could like he was like reading from a script for most of it, like a prepared thing, and then he ad-libbed a little bit, and that was the thing he said. And this is within 2 weeks or a week and a half or so before they announced Mynaric. And we all, like several of us were already like, it's got to, if they're going to acquisition somebody, it's got to be Mynaric. And so we were already like, I was already kind of maybe keyed in on that. Right, when I heard him say that, it was all the space systems items he could have said, that was the thing he brought up about the industry, about something like that. I'll have to find the you could, it wasn't a very long keynote, but Oh, the state of space. That was what it was. February 10th. And so like, and that was what he said, almost ad-libbing. It wasn't part of his, like, you could tell it wasn't part of his red script, because it was almost like he was filling in a gap kind of thing. And then, you know, a week and a half later, we get the or whatever it was, a week and a half, 2 weeks later, we get the Mynaric announcement. So that was an example of where he like is like almost, I don't know, subconsciously or Freudian slip or something like that, where he's almost like telegraphing it. And then later, there was another conference, and this one hasn't panned out quite the same timeline, but he was speaking at the Roth, the 37th annual Roth conference, and the speaker, he would talk about like what they were talking about, ideas around the constellation. So this is wrapping the Flatellite and stuff, and they talked about the speaker that was asking questions had mentioned commercial and government or something else, and then it was like Peter like came out of nowhere, like not nowhere, but he like specifically said and defense, and that was Peter's word. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, the first big customer for Flatellite is going to be something in either Golden Dome or SDA or some defense project. They're going to use that model, and they're going to build a lot of that. So that's what all I was getting at, and like you're talking about, and I'm not sure if that is true. There's other things that point to it besides that. Obviously, the GEOST acquisition and things like that. But like that was something he had said back in, you know, March 17th is when it was, and it was like, to me, I'm like, oh, the first big application of this is going to be a defense customer of you know, first big use of Flatellite or that kind of platform. That's my thought, anyways.
And that will makes perfect sense though, because like we don't have the money to go out there and do like SpaceX and spend all this money and start our own constellation. So defense is the smartest way to do it. And he likes to get paid to learn. So, or why not get paid and get a big contract with defense before you launch your own constellation? I think that's the way it's going to happen. But yeah, you're right. Like back that he does say stuff sometimes that you're like, let me think about it. I was telling people like 2 years ago, like when we knew that they were going to make their own satellites, and there was an interview that somebody asked them about comp satellites, and they were saying, oh, it's like, no, everybody said we're not doing that. But somebody asked him, and he said like, oh, comp is very interesting. It's really interesting. He said it like back to back. I'm like, I like, that's interesting. He sounded very excited about comps, but like he was saying that no, that like they're not doing comps. I didn't believe that after that. And I kept telling people, I think I told Chris, man, I think it's comps, bro. He said this like back then, and like I know they're the Spice and them, they're pretty much saying no, but it is gonna be comps. And sure it is, like the Flatellite is comps.
Yeah, all day long. I mean, they already said openly that they're like, look, we're at like 70-30%. So 70% defense, 30%, 20% commercial. They're already working with Space Force, SDA, DARPA, DOD. Beck is in their back pocket. They're right in their back pocket. And this whole Flatellite system, man, yeah, it's crazy to think about, but the possibilities when it comes to the Golden Dome, not just Golden Dome, but Space Force got a lot of billions of dollars, man, like 25 billion dollars, lots of billions.
Their Milnet platform that currently is pretty much only Starshield in it in SpaceX, and they're going to get pushed to get another vendor. Yeah, that's got some money behind it. So
big ducats. And you think it, all right, so you combine the first initial payment towards the Golden Dome is about 25 billion. Space Force is getting 24 billion. Let's say Rocket Lab gets only 10% of the entire contract for both combined. Space Force an entire $175 billion allotment over the next 3.5 years. You're looking at a market cap of what? And a share price of what? Now, this is not financial advice, and I know we're hitting all-time highs, but in 3 to 5 years, we're going to look back at this and go, this was Tesla 5 years ago. Now, honestly, dude, let's look at Tesla 5 years ago. or actually over the last 5 years. In comparison to Rocket Lab, Tesla's up 15, 16%. Rocket Lab is up 280%, and we are just getting started. Most people don't know about Rocket Lab. Most of the analysts on CNBC don't know crap about Rocket Lab. We're very, very early. Yeah, I know we're at all-time highs.
What did you call them, Chris?
Analysts. Analysts.
That's what I
I hate those guys, dude. I love you guys. Look, if Francisco says, "Hey, Chris, we're going to 43 in 4 days," I'm gonna go, "Awesome." I'm I'm buying options.
Like,
But if
you know,
someone
I
else
was
sees,
40, but like after like everything happened with like Elon and stuff, I'm like, yeah, we might even hit 50 now. Because I was hoping like Neutron Lounge, a satellite contract. I'm like, man, in a year we might hit 40, 50. But after Elon and Trump started like arguing, I'm like, oh man, this thing, I don't know. I put the infinite thing, I changed my stuff, but I don't know where this thing might go. This thing might go like crazy. I don't know. I honestly don't know where we can go now. Like I really don't. It's a hard call, man. I have no idea.
Yeah, man. I don't know on the valuation thing.
Yeah.
I had no idea. You can't put like the traditional valuations on it because they have so much growth potential, and clearly it doesn't, no one, like, it just doesn't work for this.
No.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm excited. I am excited to learn because we the 4 years of the company have been so focused on Neutron for like so long. I mean, it's, as Peter said, the big sucking sound is Neutron, and so I'm excited to get that, first launch off, get through that hump a little bit, and then it's like, okay, now what are appetites for what you're kind of starting to do it this year, Flatlight, and then talking about like Constellation, that they are going to do their at their own application layer, Constellation or something. It's like, get through Neutrons, or, get this launch off, have it go well, and then so you can start telling us more, because I know that's what they're waiting on. I know that. I mean, it's smart, but I'm excited.
I agree 100%. I mean, like he originally, Chris probably knows this. Peter Beck said that they were not going to talk about their constellation until they have Neutron on the pad, right? That was the original plan, but they showed it way ahead of time. So yeah, I agree with you. I think we're in for a surprise when we see Neutron in the first launch. That's going to change everything 100%. We're going to get a better picture, a clear picture of what's going to go. Now, I caught something like that Peter Beck said in one of the last interviews. I don't know if you guys caught this, but like he said that they're building about 2 electrons per month, and that's only 24 electrons. If you really think about it, if they're really gonna up the cadence for more than 24 a year, they're gonna have to make electron reusable too at some point.
I remember hearing the cadence, and it was in one of the quarterly earnings call, but I haven't actually seen like a number for what their build rate is on those. They're building. I don't know. It's one of those things like, could they build faster, but they just don't have they don't need to yet, because they don't have the demand to say they need to build more than 2 a month right now. Like I don't know. Because it was like beginning of 2024 when there was in the quarterly earnings call or something like that, was Q1 2024 or Q2. They said like, oh yeah, our build rate's now down to like 15 days it was under 15 days per electron, and so it's like, that's a year ago.
No, but I think it was when he was being interviewed, or MSNBC, that he or CNBC, right? That lady, he was interviewing him, and like he said like, oh yeah, we're building around like 2 electrons per month. I'm like,
oh yeah, it says,
maybe,
well, I mean, there's a rocket rolls off the production line here every 15 days or there. Yeah, you're right.
So I'm like,
rocket line with you.
Yeah, if they are still doing that, then I'm like, they're either gonna have to pick up the pace on that or make electron like reusable. Maybe they can make this reusable.
Not necessarily, man. If you look at current photos of what they're doing, they've got, I don't know, 15, 20 plus electrons just lined up, ready to go. So they're ahead of schedule as far as client demand. For now, yeah. But dude, I mean, yeah, and honestly, as far as Haste is concerned, we're behind schedule. We are, because Beck said himself that they could do a launch per week and not keep up with the demand for hypersonics. That's crazy to think about. That's just so. Are we starting to get to the point to where Rocket Lab can't keep up with demand? And if so, is that demand just going to just drive the stock further and it's coming further ahead?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're still on the supply of Electron / Haste is bigger than demand, or the rate we can make them is still bigger for now. But yeah, I mean, it could be. I don't know. I feel like they could fork, like, it's not, we're not getting very often getting a customer calls up and says, I want to launch, within 2 months. Yeah. So I feel like if they needed to pick up the pace, they feel like they have time. So. Or maybe they can. I don't know. I mean, again, if you can't get where your like inventory grows to 30 rockets, you have nowhere to put them, kind of thing. So if they're doing it one every 15 days, that's probably because that's with some buffer meeting demand right now. But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll see when we get there. But I hope, like with the Haste, that we get more than 24 launches per year, because I think they. Cadence is picking up. I think we're getting more contracts. I mean, definitely busier.
I mean, maybe we only had 2 or 3 last year. How many was it? Two
Haste last year. Yeah.
2.
But at some time, I think
at least 2 on the schedule this year. Yeah, maybe
next year.
Yeah,
picks up. Yeah.
Sorry, Chris, I cut you off. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, just the fact that it goes back to what you said originally about the fact that Haste is just maybe just a test program and can be, basically just used over the next 3 to 5 years tops, and taking that data and that information and maximizing the capability of Neutron, and that's all Haste is. It's just a test vehicle for hypersonics for both orbital and LEO and hypersonic direct to whether it's like medical uses or military or whatever. But yeah, I think that again it goes back. There's so much to. It's like an onion, right? There's so much to unfold here. It goes back to what you said before, is just being a test possibility for like what we're dealing with now. We've got offshore winds and we can't launch. It's a small vehicle. It's not going to hold up. But if you get a Neutron, it's probably going to have the same issues. And we're shooting for rapid launch, rapid reusability. It just could be basically a test vehicle for more in the future.
Yeah, I don't know. I think on specifically like the hypersonics test portion of the program, I think we're still just barely into the start of the demand ramp for it. So I'm not saying like this is the busiest. Like I think 26 and 27 are both going to be successfully a lot busier. 2028 maybe will be the busiest year, and then it might start to peter off from there. But I don't know. Like it just depends. Like they got massive contracts for the Mach TV program. They got an international contract now. How many more of those are we going to get? I think there's plenty of usage for it. So I'm not sure. I don't like because there's like I don't know if you guys watched Ashley Vance's interview with Dawn Aerospace. He did.
I want to watch that.
You should watch. It's pretty good. He did it with Dawn Aerospace CEO is a former Rocket Lab. He was an engineer. He was an intern there, and then started the company. He's also out of New Zealand. But they have a rocket plane basically that can fly at hypersonic speeds, and they're saying like they have massive demand for that type of thing of flying it at speeds for that. So there's lots of areas where hypersonic is going to get used. 4 years ago, or probably 4 years ago, did anybody know that there was going to be a demand for Electron to do hypersonic testing? Who knows what it's going to look like in 2-3 years from now. I do know that what's forecasted in within the 3-year mark is nothing but
Oh yeah.
there's a lot of money going into hypersonic testing in general. So I don't feel like, I mean, you know, it's one thing to test components on like their smaller rocket plane or on sounding rockets, but like with the Dart AE vehicle, you need a bigger size rocket to do either Mach 25 speeds or I think it's Mach 25 or 72, fast speeds, like really, you know, or and also to actually test the full prototypes or whatever. For who knows what they're working on? I don't know.
Yeah. No, yeah, and you're right. Like I listened to the last Kratos call, and like the CEO said it, like, the hypersonics is going to be the number one money maker for the next couple of years, more than anything else. So they're getting crazy money for the hypersonics program. So yeah, for sure.
This is exactly why,
Jacob.
Dude, this is exactly what, dude, we have you guys on for a reason. I don't know if you guys noticed, but so this whole stream was supposed to be about Flatellite. We barely even touched the top of it. But man, I'm learning so much. You guys are just full of amazing information. We have so much fun here. But yeah, again, that's why we do this. If you don't already follow Francisco, you're missing out. Jacob, it's my boy. Jacob, as you can probably see, maybe the hammock's on the ground, but I'll set it up for you. Come out east, man. This is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. We try and stay laid back here, man. Very laid back, but great information at the same time. I did really want to get into Flatellite. If you guys have any kind of, insight, anything you want to bring up about Flatellite, I've got, man, you know me. I got a few pages of notes here.
I got one thing that about it that if you can want me to share can I share my screen? Is that okay?
Sure, you can. Yeah.
Let's see here.
All day.
Okay. I don't know. I'm new to this program too, Jacob, so I'm learning as we go. Taking over the Hustle Brothers page. I guess I'm a Hustle Brother now, huh?
Yeah, due to your the Hustle Brother host. All right, I think I requested it.
That's what I gotta say. Like, okay, mate, go ahead.
Most definitely, bro. You're definitely, bro. You guys are all family. You guys are all family, brothers, Hustle Brothers, Hustle Sisters. You're all in, 100%.
So I think you have to actually click on it. Francisco. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So this is that's kind of weird. Let's go
in terminals.
Wait.
Is any news in Mynaric? I haven't looked it up for a while. Have you guys gone in their website? I haven't been in like 2 weeks. Sometimes they put some news there.
No, not recently. So this is from the Q1. Yeah, the last Q1 earnings report. Mm-hmm. They had just basically, like, that was the first earnings report where they talked about Mynaric and their intent to acquisition them. But they're trying to tell us that these things right here are where these laser communication terminals go. I don't know if it's just a bad render or something, but this is bullshit. Those are not laser comms. They're lying.
Tell me how you really feel, Jacob. Tell me how you really feel.
Like, yeah, who did that?
Those are. I think those are actually would be like the thrusters. I think they might actually.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. But I'm not sure. Like a Hall effect thrusters, but those are not laser comms. And there's another picture.
I'll tell you, wow, right there we can see the reaction wheels. There's 4 of them, 1 in each corner.
Yeah, right. And if you look at the original, let's see if I can how blurry it's gonna get.
Right, we went through this, Jacob. Remember that?
I know. I was losing it. All right, this is probably hella blurry for people, but that doesn't work either. Sorry. So if you look at the original renders, those are where the laser comms are going to go, the terminals. And if you look at this is the thing that they're highlighting there on the back end. That is a freaking Hall effect thruster, if I ever seen one or something similar. That's my thought.
Yeah.
But
No, I agree. Because as soon as remember, as the day they posted this picture, me and you were going at it, and we're like, oh, what are those things? Like we were trying to figure.
Oh yeah,
it out.
that was my original. When I first saw this, I was like, oh, it's definitely Mynaric. When I first saw them post this, because I was like, those are freaking late. You know, I'm like, there's no way they're letting that Peter Beck's letting the like, you know, their SDA contract, everything else just go to like there's either they're doing it in house or they're gonna acquisition them. That's what I was saying. There's no way that they're gonna like leave their fate in the hands of you know, another company that builds great things but was struggling with production. So.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
this is the same image, just flipped, and I think maybe there's just a couple small updates on it. But that's what they're saying is the laser comms, and I'm like, that's not true. Those are not laser comms. So that was all I was going to bring up. This is misleading.
Yeah,
but
there's nothing new. I went on the Mynaric page. There's nothing new in there. It's just the last news that they had that they're like, I guess they increased their capabilities. I don't know, forgotten. Like it. What did they say? Let me read it real quick. Mynaric advanced communication deliveries and technology milestones. Yeah, they started delivering. Remember that? Nothing crazy. Now the Flatellite must weigh like a ton. Like they're gonna have 4 terminals each corner. How much you think the Flatellite is gonna weigh? Those things are big.
I mean, what the image in the report shows? What 15 stacked here? Is that what we counted before? I mean, that's 5 meters across.
16, yeah.
16 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It takes 13,000 kilograms. So I don't know, probably in the order of like 800 kilograms or 800 kilograms per Flatellite. It's just a guess. I have no idea, but somewhere in that range. If that's pretty heavy. I don't know what that is in pounds. That's like a 2,000, almost a 2,000 pound satellite.
Yeah.
2.2 kilograms per pound. Yeah. So no, the other direction. No. Sorry. Wait.
I just wonder because those Mynaric terminals, laser terminals, they're pretty big, man. 4 of them are gonna. Just the 4 terminals are gonna be a lot of weight.
Yeah, man, and that's like it's good to see that like they Mynaric released a couple things saying that their production was like better this year. So I mean, it's all looking good. I want them to be successful until we buy them. So. I brought this up just because it was it was a cool render that we like. Everybody probably already saw this, but this is the on the SDA critical design review. This is the image they used for it, and so those are the Mynaric terminals right there. And there's at least 3, but I think there's a 4th one hiding on the other end. I think they said they had to have 4 in one of the SDA documents. So you telling me now that they're going to just stick 2 on the end of a Flatellite and call it good and be like, oh yeah, doesn't matter which way the satellite's pointing. We'll just have 2 sticking off the end. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry, cursing or whatever else.
Oh yeah. All day.
Make sense.
All day.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done. I'll stop. Stop sharing.
No, that's great, man. That's brilliant. I mean, because we can't. No, honestly, I know you have a lot more. I mean, we can't overlook the actual, just the basic, not basic, but the design that allows it to maximize satellite deployment rate. That's how they're going to be able to compete with SpaceX, right? Because the whole design itself, it stacks upon stacks upon stacks, and again, most of it's being produced and built in house. So again, we're saving more money. The quality is going to be better, and we control the overall delivery times. So that's you're 100% right. Vertical integration, production, man, that's just a lot more money. It's a lot more money,
Right?
and yeah, really. I mean, Beck wouldn't do this. They wouldn't be doing this. He already said it. They wouldn't be doing this if they don't already have clients set up. And again, most likely, most of his clients are going to be, defense. And again, we're moving into the Golden Dome project. There's a lot of money up.
Chris, I think until someone tells me otherwise, I think that Rocket Lab went and pitched Apple their satellite, and that's why they got cut off that deal with MDA. I'm
Oh,
pretty
you think
sure.
do you think they were trying to steal? You think they were trying to steal either Globalstar's lunch on that or MDA's lunch on it? I mean,
Why not? Why not? Think
Yeah.
about it, Jacob. Like their whole thing is to provide like the service. Like you don't want to be like just providing like what is like what do they call
Hardware?
that? They want it to be the prime, yeah, not a second partner, like a second tier. You provide you the like parts and stuff like that. I would have. I mean, think about it. If you Peter Beck and you want to be aggressive, wouldn't you go to the source right away and like, here's what we got. You either want it or you don't. And if they did that, I'm very happy with that. I don't care that they missed on that contract with MDA. MDA can have it, but I think Apple and Globalstar fucked up. I honestly think that they messed up. They should have went with Rocket Lab on that one.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they have a lot of they have a massive back order of stuff. MBA does, and so we'll see how it works out for them. I don't know. I mean, they won't be unless cannot be the they maybe get subcontractor work potentially, but they can't be any of the primes for any of the U.S. government work, the military work, because they're based out of Canada, so they're not direct competitors with us there. You know, all the old defense primes are going to be
Right. Yeah, I think like Brad and you, like said, like the first customer for Flatlight is gonna be the government, Department of Defense, and I hope is that like you said, SpaceX was the Starship got the first contract with it, Milnet, but I hope that we get the second one. I don't know.
It'll
Hopefully,
probably
maybe
be
that's
a SDA or a Space Force contract, most likely, with the first constellation. And probably a pretty damn big constellation too. I think a lot of us, even me, and you guys know me, I'm like Super Bowl, go crazy, but I'm probably going to be surprised with the contract. The more and more I look at this, yeah, again, we don't have a lot of information out there. You look on X, you ask Grok, you ask whoever. Not a lot on the satellite, but I think it's something that a lot of us as investors are just kind of just like skipping over, overlooking, just hoping that it turns into something because it's part of the space system side, and everybody just gets. Look, we all focus on launches, right? We get excited about launches and we ignore the space system side, but that's where the money is coming from, man. That's where the money's coming from. So I'm really excited about the potential for the Flatellite. Very, very excited.
I don't know. For sure. I think the whole community, a lot of people like your what do you say you call it, analysts, they're not gonna get they're not getting this. Everybody's so focused on Neutron that they're not seeing past Neutron, and it's been like that for a while. Like in the beginning of the year, I told Chris, I'm like, man, I'm not even thinking about Neutron anymore. That thing is gonna happen. People need to think about Flatellite and satellite constellations. That's where the money is. That's what people need to be focusing on. Like honestly, like Neutron can launch in October, December next year, and I honestly don't really care much now. I know it's gonna happen. I know Peter Beck is gonna make it happen. All I worry about is that constellation to get up there, because that's where we're gonna make money.
It's not about if they launch, it's about what they launch and how much revenue are we going to get, see a return on. Again, these are going to be reusable rockets, like SpaceX with the landers. We're going to make more and more revenue per launch because we can use these things 20 plus times. So it's just going to be more and more revenue coming in. The Flatellite thing, man, I know. We've kept you guys on here way too long. I get it. I know Francisco's got plans and things to do, and we just never really did get too deep in the Flatellite. But it's been a lot of fun. Look, if you guys got something else to say in the chats, Francisco, I can't see him. I can't read them. That's too small on my phone. We'll jump in there for a second or two, and then we'll end it and try again tomorrow.
We got July 13. I just know that the next earning calls is coming up, man, and I can't wait. I think we're gonna get some really good pictures, man.
Dude,
So
I know.
the closest we get to,
I
the
was
closest we
paying
get,
for like 1 meter resolution freaking stat photos of the launch site, so I could like oh, I think they got something here, and you're just trying to like I cannot wait for some new
man.
pictures.
But look at that, those satellite pictures. They got a lot done, man. It's looking really good.
Mix those with just all the ground photos we're getting the last couple days there. I've been the launch mount is so close to being like they haven't put the final plating around the main launch mount, but like it looks like within the last 2 days they put the neutrons locking feet in.
I noticed that too. Yeah,
it's all like those
that
big piece of
yeah.
Yeah,
I
was like, oh, that's on there, and that's what
Yeah.
Captain thinks that too. So I usually trust him on this stuff. And
I
they're getting
noticed
close there. I keep trying to see. There's these. They've had these on the site forever. You know where those like vacuum cylinders are at in towers? On the left. If you're looking at it like from where Wallop's stuff is at, Wallop's range is at, it's on the left, to the left of the tower. There's these like when you look at the photos, like the site photos. There's these. It looks like bins full of long pieces of piping. Well, that piping is going to be running along the ground everywhere from the locks and metal locks cylinder, like of the whatever they're called, the tanks, into the launch mount and then the test stand. I keep trying to see from these ground photos from the walls, like from there, they can't quite see it from the vantage if those pipes have been removed out, because that's one of the last things they're going to do. Well, they no longer need to drive all over the place, around there. They're going to put that piping down, because some of the piping is going to go right across where the road used to be through there. So I'm keep looking for that piping to go in, because they look like they've done so much right on the actual tanks themselves. All that all the integrated manifolds and stuff like that looks like they're done, or at least there's stuff there that wasn't there even a few weeks ago. And so it's like I'm waiting for like these last stuff that's going to go up pretty fast right at the end, like that above ground pipe. It's above ground and it just runs like it's something they put up in like a week or whatever. It's really fast. Because it's just like that's one of like the things I'm like, once they get that piping in, then it's they also run checks on it, but that's gonna be my signal of like, ooh, they're no longer driving big heavy stuff through all over the site anymore. But
and the earnings,
hey, bro, I'll do
amazing, man. I think we're gonna get some crazy stuff, and maybe we get some flatline news.
Yeah, something. Yeah,
that will be. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Bro, I'll do you guys one better. So the big valves that are used to control the flow of the gases, is built off-site. There's a company in Virginia that builds them and supplies them to Rocket Lab. Well, my brother actually is a top salesperson that deals directly with that company. So when we see photos of Wallops and we see photos of the plumbing, I just text him and go, "Hey, how far along are we? Where are we at?" We're really close, man. We're so close. That's the advantage of having a few people in like just different spots in the chats and different parts of the world. But yeah, that's true story. Jacob's 100% right. Once that plumbing is done and tested, we are golden. We're golden for launch.
It feels like it's, I don't know, if I had to put like this is minimal viable product to launch, obviously they're going to put some more stuff on this launch site later, but just to get to that first launch, they got to be at like the 85% mark or 80 or 90% mark or something like that, just for the launch complex. I feel like the last bit of stuff is going to go up so fast now.
Yeah,
but we'll see. Because every time I see a new sat photo or a new overthink photo, it's like I'm like, oh, they're building out the rest of the flame trench. They already have the pad for the second stage test stand. It looks like they have the second stage, at least a big piece of it, sitting over there right next to the integration facility. So it's like, it's close. It's close.
Yeah, it's very close.
All right, sorry, I get excited because this is what
I get it.
Way too much time looking at.
I get excited too, man. Every time I see a picture, I get extremely excited too, and I look at every detail, zooming into every corner. I'm like, wait, why can't I see it here? Then nobody's noticing. Like, come on, show me something new.
Yeah,
dude. And I get messages all of you guys, like, hey Chris, have you seen this? I'm like, it's 2 in the morning. Where do you live? Like, I live in Denmark. Like, leave me alone. I gotta go to bed. I'm trying to sleep. But no, honestly, I
you
love
gotta
it.
turn those notification sounds off, man.
I don't know how to. It's that's high techie to me. You know, when you
You're
come
falling
visit,
asleep, bro.
you can fix my phone. Like, hey Chris, I'll make your life
Oh
easier.
God!
And
Don't be that guy.
no, dude,
I,
I'm
I
dude,
help Kelly
I'm
out. Guys,
old.
I can help you out.
Dude, I'm super old. Like when computers were first introduced, our teachers are like, I don't know what to do. Just hang out. You know, like there was no like, you know, I got an 8, and we didn't do nothing. I know nothing about it. My son, when he left for the military, he was like, "I'm so worried about you because you don't know the codes. You don't even know how to turn the TV on." You know, um, but
Uh,
somehow I can talk Rocket Lab backwards and forwards and tell you anything you want to know. Um,
Dude, you're fine.
I
You're
don't.
good. Look, dude, you're streaming online right now. You're fine.
Yeah,
You're
you're
beating
fine.
Yeah,
beating the general
but when you
population.
get here, help me turn my TV on, okay? You get here, man. Help me turn my TV on because I'm trying to watch a movie and I'm behind. So yeah, no, I mean this is a lot of fun, man. This is why we do it. This is exactly why we do this, man. Um, Investing is difficult sometimes and stressful sometimes. Um, we don't always make the right decisions, but it helps having a great community just
Listen,
like this, where we can sit back and laugh and just relax. And you know,
Chris, I got a question.
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Dave, like Hudson, like he said that pretty much the neutrons Achilles heel is that they're only launching out of wallops. It means that you can't even launch the whole constellation, including Rocket Lab's own constellation. So you think they need to launch out of California and like somewhere else to get the whole constellation up there? I'm pretty sure they're gonna get different bots.
Dave, if you're listening still, are you talking about because of like the environmental impact statement, or are you talking about like the current cap on launch? What is it? The capacity that the range could have right now? Because I know that they're working on an update to the environmental impact statement, whatever that is, EA or ESA or something like that. I don't know if you were watching, Dave, but I thought I know that right now, like, yeah, they could only do 12 launches of like liquid fueled launches out of there right now, but that's fine for the first couple of years. I know that they're working on getting that increased. I don't think that that's going to be a hindrance over the by the time we get to that capacity. I doubt we're going to be constrained because of the site launch constraint, but maybe I could be wrong.
So here,
can
so
we
here,
launch all satellites for different orbits through Wallops? So do we need to launch from a different path to get different orbits? Maybe that's what he's trying to say.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could do a lot, right? And then you could do.
That's what he's saying. What I was about to say.
Okay, so when it comes to wallops, they're limited right now. It's just for now, but they are limited to 12 commercial launches. If it's classified, if it's a government launch, it does not count. It does not count.
Yeah.
You can fact check me all day long, but they're limited right now on commercial launches from Wallace, but that's going to increase. We have Firefly soon going to be building out facility and launching on Wallops. We're going to see a lot more from Wallops, and yeah, he's not wrong in the fact that there are certain limitations from as far as launching from Wallops, but you're not going to have limitations as far as satellite deployment. You're going to have limitations as far as manned mission deployment. So we it's possible from Wallace, but ideally you want to go Cape Canaveral. So if we actually do get to that point and Neutron is built to design for all specifications to carry out a manned mission, it probably happened out of Cape Canaveral and probably from the Space Force um, complex that's in Florida. Yeah, I know it
Yeah,
sounds a little crazy, but you know what?
he's
I'm Chris.
talking about Chris Davies talking about the orbits. Is what I thought he was talking about.
Yeah.
He said that you cannot launch. What is it? No,
Can't
you
reach all
can't
orbital
reach
installations.
all. Sorry. I was listening to reading the second one. I guess he posted another one. He said, "No, you can't reach all orbits, orbital inclinations just from wallops," and that's what I was thinking. And yeah, so hopefully we get another pad going soon. I think they can build another one pretty quick as soon as they get this one done. They won't know any works. They will know how to get the second one built pretty quick. And that's where the government comes in handy. If the constellation is for DoD, guess what? DoD got money, and they can throw some money, and we can build another pad somewhere pretty quick.
Wait, I'm confused. Did
Elon
he
and
say?
more.
No, I'm confused. Did he say that we can't go orbital from Wallops?
No.
inclinations.
He was
It's
saying
different
yeah. So
inclinations.
He's just saying that there's you can't get if you're trying to do an entire constellation just out of Wallops launch site, you cannot do what is it the farthest polar inclinations because you lose. I have to look at the map. There's there it is. Yeah, you can't go straight north there, right? So there's or straight south. Like you lose because you go over populated areas. So you only can get a certain number of inclinations that you could go. So you lose some of your orbital launchability from some of your orbits.
Right.
And that's what he was getting at when he mentioned that. But also he's also saying that they're not launched. Which we all knew they're not launching Neutron out of New Zealand because of it's more methane than they make in the whole all of New Zealand or whatever for the fuel, which we knew that part. And then I guess I was just going to say also too that the reason why they're launching Electrons out of New Zealand, there's two big factors that Peter's mentioned before. Is one, they have control of the range, and there's not a lot of yes. There is the reason. Sorry, Dave, I'm looking at Dave's thing. So the reasons why they're launching more out of Mahia right now is one, they have complete range control. Like there's way less air traffic. You're not going to get delays. So they have a lot of flexibility for their customers, and that's huge. That's one of the things. That's their selling point. One of them, and also because of it's cheaper. They don't have to pay the $1 million launch fee every time they launch.
True.
But then Brett just brought up the U.S. government launches. That's why Haste is probably going to be the major that or other U.S. military launches are going to come out of there because they need to be on launch from U.S. soil. And then Dave is saying there's a reason Wallops is not a major launch site now, folks. It's less major than Mahia for a reason. Yeah, no one's disagreeing that they haven't had the need, but as both the Space Coast and Florida range starts to fill up more, and the one in California, I'm blanking. As those two ranges start getting busier, that was one of the things. This again, I'm quoting off of what Peter said. He said that he made the conscious decision not to go build a pad down in Florida because they didn't want to have the constraints that he saw the industry going. And so that's why they're building it out at Wallops. They're building out the site there and building up the capacity there because he's looking a decade down the line and they're going to have more and more launches. He wants that room to do it and not miss his launch time, because for a while they're going to be the only major medium launcher. They're only the major launcher at Wallops for a while, so they're going to have a lot of room to, like they do now with they have room to get longer launch windows and stuff like that. Those are what I interpreted. I thought what he's saying. Dave Huntsman is a very is former NASA, so he also has I'm not trying to sit here and debate him on it because I'm not in the industry like that. So he has lots of good insights for me watching or reading this later. I'm not disagreeing with Dave at all.
Bro,
more just saying what Peter has said.
Yeah, Dave is he's a genius, man. He has a lot.
Yeah, bro. Virginia, we're building a bridge. Virginia itself is investing a lot of money into Rocket Lab and their infrastructure. This is not going away. It's only going to get bigger. That's a fact. I live here. I see it. I see where my tax dollars are going to, and um, yeah, yeah, that the whole
So
infrastructure.
so what do you guys think that the next neutron pad is gonna be? Because they're obviously gonna have to build another one, and that's why I like the fight with Trump and Elon. And I'm like, people say, no, money's not gonna do anything. Money is gonna do something. If we get money for a different pad in California, anywhere that we need it, even who knows, South Florida, who cares? But if the government got the money to do it, be like, all right, here's $300 million. It's not a lot of money. It's probably even less than that because the whole neutron program including the PAD 300. I mean, the government did give them some grants, but it's not a
Yeah,
lot of money.
we're
It's-
going out into the Atlantic, and we're gonna have a bridge and a pad that extends off of the island, and we will launch and land from there. Uh, yeah, that's coming out soon. Not soon. Maybe 2 years, 3 years, but
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
but they're never going to build a big enough bridge to launch it north,
Yeah.
right? Because like it would be
no,
the longest bridge in the world.
no.
So that's what all I think that's what Dave's trying to get at is that you can't do polar orbits from
Mhm.
or I mean you could do some if you launch south you can get close to some of it, but I don't know. At that point though, like you can do orbital maneuver like this is probably not worth even getting to, but you could do like a tug or other orbital maneuvers to change. You can change. Well, you can change your phase that way. Maybe you can't change your. I think you'd actually need like there's secondary ways to get to other orbits, but it would be way less efficient. I don't know. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm shooting from the hip. Don't yell at me. I feel like I need to shut up. Let the man. I don't know. Yeah, I agree, but like out of all the payloads that are launched now, if I guess maybe this is a better question. Are you basing this based off of what Starlink needs for how many for what their orbital is, or just in general launches? Because I feel like there's at least a solid 5-year plus run rate of launches out of there before they even need to consider a second site for Neutron. I feel like the majority of their launches can be of that style can be satisfied there. Sorry, I'm rambling.
Actually,
I need to go, man. It's an hour and a half. I'm useless at this point.
Brilliant, dude. No, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's a great question.
I'll tell you guys something like that. TFR is still active.
But the electrons horizontal? Yeah, I think it's probably just a Sunday and somebody forgot to
hit the button, right?
Yeah.
Like, screw that. It's Sunday, bro. Might go for a walk in Virginia Beach.
So yeah, okay. My last brain thought. So neutrons I mean a lot of orbital marks, obviously the paths are different, but neutrons is even a little bit more unique because there's no strong back. I wonder if some other company that currently has launch facilities somewhere else, if we can come in and scoop them and retrofit them at some point, that would be interesting. Even if it's even if it's like on like French Guiana or something like that, I don't know, some other place. I just said that was the first one I looked at. But I wonder if we could go and scoop some other orbital launch sites somewhere else that has some of the infrastructure already in place, so we can Peter Beck loves a discount.
Oh yeah, Peter Beck loves his discounts. I think it's time, guys. Like I got Max here. Like look at he's like. Take me out, buddy. I need to pee.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us on, Chris. Sorry we chatted your ear off. Talked way too many numbers.
Thanks, Chris.
No,
yeah,
honestly,
we made it happen.
No, dude, that's what we love about this, man. I mean, no one wants to listen to me all day, right? So we bring in the experts and we try and stay on a topic, and it never happens. And that's the great thing about space is that there's so much to talk about, that we can go in any direction, dive down any rabbit hole, and have a lot of fun with it. And that's all we're trying to do here, man. Just have fun. Yeah, we want to teach people, help people out with their investing, futures. But at the same time, just have fun with it. Tonight's been a lot of fun. We barely talked about Flatellite, and that's exactly what I wanted to talk about. But hey, you know what? There's tomorrow. We'll try again.
No, I tell you, I'll give you the insights. Flatellite is going to be the first constellation announcement. It's either going to be next quarter earnings call or August 27, bro. Something might happen August 27. August is gonna be good, man. If you wanna, I wouldn't be even selling one stock like anytime soon because August might be full of stuff.
I thought the annual shareholders thing was like
Isn't it August 27? Yeah,
I think it's earlier than that even.
Yeah.
Or am I wrong? I think it might be earlier than that.
It's earlier than that. I think it was August 27.
Yeah, I think Francisco's right. It's late August.
That might be.
And
but hey, when we do get into
open like a neutron pad, any day the wallets is gonna be open. They say in the summer, in the summer.
Go ahead, I mean, no, you're good, and you're right, 100% right. They're so close. And I think that when we actually do get a chance to dive into the Flatellite, for some of us, it's gonna go. I kind of knew that, or I kind of anticipated that, but for a lot of people out there, the more and more we're kind of like diving into this, the more and more we're seeing. Every night is different, and tonight was awesome. Tonight was a lot of fun. We tried to get into Flatellite. We'll try again tomorrow, unless we have a launch and Haste. If we do have a live feed coming from Wallet Advantage. Thank you, my friend. That's gonna be a lot of fun. First time for never happened before. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining in. Go ahead. Sorry,
Chris. You have to stay up all night because the TFR is still on. You got to be looking that way and let us know if something happens. You better go live.
I will. Right, also, you suck. Okay, I will, but you also suck. Yes.
You're out there watching the skyline, not blinking, not peeing. Yeah, that's messed up. No, dude, you're all right. I think it's not happening tonight. I think you get to sleep.
Yeah, I'm about to move my picnic table over to the doctor's house over next door, where I got a big field. I can see the whole sky. So you guys suck, man. You guys suck.
we have to do it to you, man. We can't let you.
Oh yeah. That's why I love you.
Right. I'm cutting myself off. I'm gonna.
Now we're done, man. Thanks everyone. It's a lot of fun. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right, guys. Bye. Bye.